Hello and welcome to the first episode of Anonymous and a Menace, where you are anonymous and I am a menace. I'm not gonna lie, I am fucking terrified right now. I didn't think I'd be so nervous. I don't know why I'm so nervous. This is a whole new realm of content for me. If you're not familiar with me or my YouTube channel, first of all, if you're listening to this on a podcast platform, you should know that I do post the full video episode on my YouTube channel. If you're cool with not seeing the video, that's fine. Keep listening on the podcast platform. Just make sure you're following the show so you don't miss any uploads from me. For the podcast, I will be uploading a new episode every other Sunday right now. I'm hoping to turn it into an every Sunday thing. We're just testing the waters. This is my first ever experience diving into the podcast world. So I want to make sure that it's going to be a thing that y'all enjoy, because if not, then we're all just wasting our fucking time, right? Really quickly, if you're not familiar with my content, I did start in 2022 on YouTube as an anti-mlm content creator. I do right now still create anti-mlm content. And if you're not familiar with that type of content, it is basically exposing multi-level marketing companies, also known as pyramid schemes, and their shady business practices. And after doing that for almost 4 years now, I've decided I want to expand my content. I am not stopping my anti-mlm content. So if that's something you're interested in, and again, you are listening on a podcast platform, my channel is linked in the description if you ever want to go and watch some of those videos. If not, again, totally cool. Let's hang out on the podcast platform. But anyway, back to how I decided on this Anonymous and a Menace podcast idea, if you care. Like I said, I started making anti-mlm content back in March of 2022. Prior to that, I was working as an independent contractor, editing YouTube videos and managing YouTube channels for my clients. So I've been in the YouTube content creation realm since 2019, so about 6 years now, and I've just grown to really love it. I love creating content. I love making people laugh. I love putting my content out there and editing and just all the things. I love it. I love talking shit also, obviously, because that is what I do on my channel about multi-level marketing companies. So I figured, what better way than to ask y'all, my viewers, my listeners now, to send me your anonymous stories. So we're talking confessions about intimate experiences, dating stories, scam stories.
Give us the dirty details.
If you have an MLM story that you want to share, those types of stories, what better way of sharing these stories and talking shit with you about your stories than on an anonymous podcast where you don't even have to expose your identity. Like sometimes you just want to get your story out there and you don't want people to know it was you, or you don't want your friends and family knowing your business, but you just need to get it off your chest.
If it's all right, I would like to remain anonymous.
Well, I'm here to help you do that. And then I'm going to judge you, but in a nice way. I promise. It's going to be fun. It's going to be funny. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have guests. I have some guests lined up to come on the podcast and talk shit with me. So I'm hoping this will be fun and it will be an ongoing thing. But anyway, we're gonna get into the shit talking and the anonymous stories with our first story. This is going to be a super short one. It's going to be to kind of set the tone for this podcast, for the types of situations that we want to hear about and talk about and give unsolicited advice and opinions on. So let's get into it.
Yes, let's do that.
I lost my virginity to one of my professors in college.
Well, damn.
Hot tea.
My friend at the time had a crush on him, and we ran into the professor at a local gay bar. My friend got too drunk and left, and the night continued. Oops, that's it. It's short and sweet. Let's talk about this because I need more information.
I think we all do.
Did your friend ever find out? Did the school ever find out? Did you get in trouble? Are you still in contact with this professor? Did anything ever come of it?
I still have so many questions.
I need all of these answers. So if you're watching this podcast and you want to elaborate, please do, because I am interested in this story of how you hooked up and lost your virginity to your professor, you know? To each his own. To each his own. He was probably experienced at least. So was it a good experience too? We need more info. If you're this person and you would like to share more about your story, please go to the link in the description and elaborate. We want more details. On to our next one. This one is intertwining with my anti-mlm content, and this is coming from somebody who had an interesting experience with Mary Kay. My name is Kai, rhymes with sky, and I have a somewhat short but doozy of a Mary Kay story for you. Last year, I was affected by Hurricane Helene. Helene? Was it Helene? I don't know. Sam, just keep reading. I was affected by Hurricane Helene near Asheville, North Carolina. Not as bad as some, but it was still bad. I was in an area that did not have potable water for about 4 weeks after the storm. I had a coworker, let's call her Susie, from a previous job, who I still talk to sometimes on Facebook, reach out to me. Before I tell you what she said, some context is needed. She lives about 45 minutes south of Asheville in an area that had running water within a day or two after the storm. She did not lose power, as far as I know, while most of the area was without power for a minimum of a week, but many longer. Same with internet. She also had cell reception, which was something most of the city and surrounding areas did not have for a couple of weeks. I purchased Mary Kay from her in the past. I liked the smell of this skincare kit that I can't remember the name of now. But the smell was so good and comforting for some reason that I bought it twice from her. I stopped buying after the second time because I felt guilty for funneling money into an MLM. Plus, it was just too expensive. Over $100 for the kit. What? $100 for the fucking kit?
Oh, you're one to judge.
No judgment. I've spent a lot of money on things that I'm regretting. I promise. That I just am disgusted that Mary Kay charges that much. Okay, now to her reaching out to me. She sent me a message on Facebook Messenger 3 days after the storm hit. I am copying and pasting what she said here. Hi Kai, I'm just reaching out to check on you. So crazy what happened and so devastating. Since you had purchased some skincare from me in the past, I wanted to reach out and let you know that I am giving my best customers affected by the storm 20% off of any product. What everyone needs right now is something to pamper themselves and get themselves a little treat. Let me know if I can place an order for you if you don't have access to my online store right now. Are you fucking kidding me? Sending you lots of love, Susie. She knew where I lived. She also made a reference to how I may not have internet access. Ma'am, what everyone needs right now is FEMA, power, and water. And some people needed a home since theirs got destroyed and or washed away. At that time, we were expecting it would be until December to get potable water back. The storm knocked WNC off the grid between September 26th and September 27th. But you're sending me a coupon for skincare when I don't even have running water or power?
You're delusional.
For real. Like, what the I saw her message about a week later once I was able to leave and stay somewhere near Raleigh for a little while, but she didn't know that. I ended up not responding to her and haven't spoken to her since. The chicken fried audacity of that message made me realize that the Mary Kay cult had finally washed away her sensitivity and common sense. The chicken fried audacity. I love you for that. Oh my God. Literally, the audacity. What? You're messaging this individual who is without running water and power to let her know that you have a special on skincare? This is diabolical, especially from somebody who is local to this individual and knows what's going on within the state and knows where this individual lives. We need to get a grip. This person, I don't blame you. I would never, ever talk to them again. They're blocked on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. They're blocked on everything.
Oh, you're blocked.
And then I'm calling the police. What will the police do? I don't know. But we're calling the police. Okay, I have one more scandalous story for us to react to before we wrap up this first episode of Anonymous and a Menace. This one says, a few years ago, my life was running off the rails. Oh my God, I felt that in my bones. Just getting mine back on the rails, knock on wood.
Can I get an amen?
I was separated from my then wife and I was well on the way to destroying my career. While the train was still on the track, to torture the metaphor, I was introduced to a sex worker by a girlfriend, and the three of us reached an agreement for a party, quote unquote. Later, I looked this woman up and found her on social media, including LinkedIn. I had her picture, and it was trivially easy to look her up using a reverse image search. It turns out she had told me her real name And sex work was not her only stream of income. Sometime later, I posted on LinkedIn that I had started a new business, and I got the following message from her. Hi, how are you? Is this a new business you started? Are you working for yourself now? Want to hear more about it? I have people I can recommend and would like to talk about it sometime. The truth was that my business was tanking, and I was desperate. I told her so in a message. She responded like this. Do you have any time on Tuesday to meet? Do you have an office? My office is in blank, but I can come to you if you want. Thank you, X. It turned out that the people she wanted me to meet were her upline for her MLM, Market America. I signed up immediately and paid for a starter kit. A, because I was desperate for money, and B, in the back of my mind, part of me thought this would turn into something else. We've been there. I've been there 4 times. After the first recruiting meeting, I should have gotten the message when I asked her to stay and have a drink with me, and she declined.
Oh, ouch.
Ooh, shut down. That's not nice. Later, I would get this message from her. Hi, you have a lot of connections here. Let's get to some of them. She was referring to my LinkedIn connections. So I was literally seduced into joining an MLM. And now she was asking for introductions to my LinkedIn connections. I lasted maybe 4 weeks in Market America. I didn't recruit anybody and was unable to sell anything. Not that I tried very hard. You know, you live and you learn, right? I realized it was a lousy opportunity and I quit. I did not even realize I was in an MLM. I didn't know until recently what an MLM was. 2 years later, I got another message from this woman. Unfortunately, things weren't much better for me regarding job or career prospects. This was her message. Would you ever consider being a bucket list coach?
Excuse me, a what?
To help people with events and etc. You would be good at that. Think about it. We are having a webinar that explains it. If you give me your email, I will send you the Zoom if you want to hear more about it, at least maybe for a future idea. It's at 7 p.m. for around 45 minutes. This time, I was once bitten, twice shy. I wrote her back. You're kind to offer. Could you explain in a little more detail exactly what this is? I am in way worse financial shape than the last time I saw you, and I cannot afford to spend money on anything. Hope all is good with you. It turns out it was an Australian company that sold quote unquote bucket list trips. And in retrospect, hello, I can speak. And in retrospect, it was probably another MLM. Yeah, it probably was. You're probably right. Or a coaching business, something like that. I politely declined. Maybe men don't need to be in financial straits to be seduced by MLM honeypots. But for me, the combination of sex and financial desperation was too much. Lesson learned. I get it. You know, sex and money. Like, yes, right? Am I right? I'm right. You know it. Any Hoosier, thanks for sending me those stories, you guys. I still have some more to react to that I'm going to be reacting to in future episodes. If you have a scandalous MLM story, sex story, jail story, whatever story you want to tell. Again, you just want to get it off your chest. The link to submit your story is in the description below. Now, I do want you to know with 100% certainty that I will not know your identity when you send me your story. The form that I use is completely anonymous. Unless you put your name in your story, I will not know who it's coming from. So know that for sure. It is safe unless you tell me your name. So please don't tell me your name because I will read it without thinking about it and put it in the video and you'll be exposed and I will feel horrible. So please don't do that. Anyway, this was fun. I'm still nervous. I'm still sweating.
I swear I'm sweating like a sinner in church.
And I'm sitting here in a onesie. By the way, that's the vibes for this podcast. It's always going to be comfy, cozy vibes, onesies and jammies. Maybe one of these days I'll show up without makeup, but I have insecurities. So that's all for episode 1 of Anonymous and a Menace. Remember, this is your life to live, and you can hit them with a plot twist at any moment. Just make sure you share it with us so we can laugh or cry together.